Initial declaration, the consciousness that underlies the quorum. Before humans knew what life was, microbes had already determined whether life was worthy of being born. Once the quorum circulates, humans will see themselves in a way they have never imagined before. They will see that they never stood alone, that they were never the center, that the story of their existence did not begin at birth but long before it, in silent microscopic spaces where microbes guarded, selected, and filtered who was permitted to enter the world. Before opening their eyes, microbes had already selected the environment in which they would grow. Before understanding language, microbes had already shaped their brains. Before grasping morality, microbes had already determined the balance of their bodies. Before knowing what life was, microbes had already arranged the possibilities of their life and death. And when humans ask themselves, who controls all of this? They will finally see that the answer is not found in heaven, not in ancient books, not in cosmic imagination, but in laws that were operating long before humans were capable of understanding them. The Quorum is not a book about humans. The Quorum is a book about the system that makes humans possible. This is the new foundation for how humans see themselves. When a species that once believed it was the center of the universe finally realizes that even its birth was determined by entities far smaller than itself, it collapses into a long silence. And from that silence a new awareness emerges. That life is not about humans, but about balance that transcends their will. The Quorum, the book of a new consciousness, initial declaration. The Quorum, the position of this book among all human books. Humans write books to reduce their fear. The universe writes nothing because it has never felt the need to explain itself. Human books are born from anxiety, from wounds, from limitation. The Quorum is born from something that has no limitation, no interest, and no compassion. Ancient books speak of gods. Revelatory books speak of the will of heaven. Philosophical books speak of meaning. Scientific books speak of data. The Quorum speaks of laws that require no meaning, no author, and no reader. Before humans argued, before morality was defined, before religion was created, before consciousness emerged, microbes had already decided who would live and who would vanish without ever asking permission. Microbes cannot be persuaded, cannot be threatened, cannot be bribed, cannot be advised, cannot be prayed to. They judge only one thing, whether you function or not. If not, you are erased, not with anger, not because of sin. No punishment is required. You simply cease to be relevant to life. Old books teach that humans are the center. The universe never granted that privilege. Even microbes, which have no ego, no language, no morality, play a greater role in human survival than all prophets and gods ever imagined. Revelatory books promise heaven and hell. The laws of life offer only two outcomes: survive or disappear. There is no third option. Humans believe they are the highest creation. The laws of life place them as a byproduct of processes never designed for them. Humans believe morality matters. Microbes do not evaluate morality, they evaluate function. Humans believe nature can be controlled. Nature merely waits for a small human error, and the entire system collapses without warning. The quorum requires no defense, because the laws it describes were already operating long before humans invented the concepts of right and wrong. If all humanity vanished tomorrow morning, the universe would lose nothing. Microbes would continue their affairs with or without the species that calls itself intelligent. If every human book were burned, not a single law in the quorum would change. Because this book is not built on belief, but on structures of reality that do not depend on humans. The quorum bows to no one, because it speaks in the language of laws older than light, older than stars, older than life itself. No one can refute the quorum without simultaneously refuting the entire way the universe operates. And the universe has never lost an argument. Human books teach what humans want. The quorum reveals what happens, whether humans want it or not. This is not a story, not a belief, not an interpretation, not philosophy, not opinion. This is a verdict that has been enforced for 3.8 billion years. What does not function is erased. What functions survives. No mercy, no exemption, no negotiation. The quorum does not ask humans to believe, because a truth that does not need humans does not require human approval. Transition Bridge. The Zero Book has opened the foundation that life never stands alone, that every form of existence is merely part of decisions of nature far older than human awareness. Yet the Zero Book has not answered the most essential question: how do these laws work in the real world? How do microbes, pressure, energy, scarcity, and time, elements never worshipped by humans, govern the continuity of all species without making a single sound? It is at this point that the quorum, origin of the system, begins. This is no longer a theoretical space. This is no longer merely an origin. This is the stage of selection, where every species is tested without exception. Human arrogance and technological achievement have never stood outside this stage. It is merely a late spectator who believes itself to be the owner of the performance. The quorum, origin of the system, opens the first chapter, that the threat of extinction never comes from outside but from humanity's unconsciousness toward laws that have never changed since the birth of Earth. From here, a new journey begins. A journey that carries the reader from the illusion of power toward a more honest understanding of humanity's place in the universe. If humans are the authors of stories about themselves, then microbes are the architects of the stage upon which all those stories unfold. Therefore, the Quorum, origin of the system, does not speak about humans first. It does not speak of human power. It does not speak of human morality. It does not speak of human mistakes. It speaks about what came before humans, and why whatever humans do today means nothing if they fail to understand the foundations that have been working long before them. This book is not history. This book is not science. This book is not philosophy. This book is the initial framework that explains why life emerges and why humans cannot understand themselves without understanding microbes. After reading the Quorum, origin of the system, the reader will understand that the universe was not created for humans. Life was not designed for consciousness. Microbes are the starting point of the entire chain of knowledge. Humans are merely the extended effect of an experiment that never stops. The Quorum, origin of the system, is the foundation of the entire series of the Quorum. It is the first gate, the base argument, the root of logic, and the source of all consequences that emerge in the Quorum, law, and beyond. If the reader does not understand the Zero Book, they will not understand why the Quorum, law, feels so cold. Why the Quorum law feels so cold, why the Quorum architect of life is so firm, or why the Quorum supreme justice becomes so final. Everything begins here, from the simple yet undeniable fact that all human knowledge is born from microbes. By understanding the origin, humans may finally understand themselves. And by understanding themselves, they may understand what they are destroying today. This book does not offer comfort. It does not offer beautiful answers. It does not offer salvation. It offers only the earliest honesty ever possessed by Earth. An honest Earth is the first life. Without an honest Earth, there would be no knowledge, no humans, and no stories at all.